Evangelism is hard for me because I think both sides make it difficult. You're trying to tell people about Christ or whatever, and so some people get offended by it. They don't want to talk about it. Some people feel like they already know what they need to know, and so they don't need to hear more, or they think it doesn't matter what it is you have to say. It can be awkward. People can be apathetic. You can be apathetic.
Mainly it's that people won't respond favorably to what I have to tell them, whether it's completely shutting me down or just not agreeing with me.
Personally, because something bad may have happened to someone before, and they blame God for what happened, and so then they shun God when they should be thanking God for an obstacle to work around and strengthen their faith.
I think in a lot of ways it's hard to talk to friends sometimes because you're afraid of rejection, you're afraid of what they might think, things like that. I think it can be also hard if you don't know a particular topic and you're kind of weary on addressing it all the time, especially if you know that someone's dealing with that.
Personally for me, evangelism's hard more than anything because I'm afraid a lot of times of rejection. I don't feel so much like they're rejecting God as much as they're rejecting my ability to give them God. And that's kind of a blow to the self-confidence more than anything.
A lot of people would say the fear of rejection, and I think that it probably stems from that. But I often remember what Jesus told his disciples that when they're being sent out, that when they're rejected, to remember that ultimately it's Christ that's being rejected. But another thing would be, I think we don't practice it enough. It seems kind of funny, but we teach on it. We know generally how to do it. But one thing, I never did it until I really tried it. You have to practice it. You should practice it on Christian friends, and then ultimately get out there and do it. And once you do, you get a lot more comfortable with it.
Hey guys, I think these responses are pretty much the norm when it comes to evangelism. Even if you know all the answers and you're a seasoned personal worker, evangelism can be scary. But there are some things that you can keep in mind to give evangelism a little perspective. First, if you get rejected, chances are you're doing things right. In John 15:18, Jesus says that the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. Secondly, we don't have to make things harder than they have to be. A simple invitation to church, a youth rally, or church camp can be huge. And what's the worst that could happen? They say no? Third, remember that Jesus is with us. Even when it seems like you're all alone, trying to make a difference by yourself, He is still there. With that in mind, even though we ourselves are weak, when we partner with Him, that's when we become strong. So keep these things in mind the next time you try to go out and do some evangelism. And, as always, stay strong.